Hello and welcome to The Entrepreneurial Musician, a newsletter, coaching service, podcast, and blog preparing today's musicians for tomorrow's realities. This is TEM298 titled A Simple Three-Step Audit for Your Career. Thank you to Parker Mouthpieces for providing the hosting for TEM. Parker Mouthpieces offers fine, customizable component mouthpieces for horn, trombone, euphonium, and tuba, including the Andrew Hitz Artist Model Tuba Mouthpiece. You can find out more at parkermouthpieces.com, or you can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay. Apologies for there not being an episode the last couple of weeks. Life has been very busy, and in fact, I said goodbye to my father on a little after midnight last Thursday, and I was able to make it up to Boston. It all happened really quickly, and I wasn't actually able to have a conversation with him, but I was able to be with him before he passed. And I'm really sad, but I'm filled with gratitude at the support that he gave to me as a young musician. He did not miss a single one of my concerts from 4th grade through 12th grade, and I was in band, I was in jazz band, I was in chorus, I was in youth orchestra, I was in a youth wind ensemble for 6 years. I was in districts, I was in All State, I was in All East. I did summer things at Tanglewood for 4 summers, every summer after high school. He literally did not miss a single one of my concerts at all. He was amazing. Could not have been more supportive, and I would not be the musician I am today or the human that I am today without his just like unwavering support. And so I love you, Dad, and this episode is dedicated to him. TEM298, a simple 3-step audit for your career. I was taught, this is tough love, but it really resonates with me. And I have said this on this podcast before, and I'm going to say it again after today's episode because it's money. If you want to evaluate your belief systems, ignore your thoughts and ignore your feelings and look only at your actions. That is really tough love, but I can say that something is important to me. I can say that eating healthy is important to me, but if I keep on going to barbecue, which I love barbecue, then my actions say something else. I can say that working out is important to me. If you're watching on YouTube, it clearly is not. But if I don't go out and work out, if I don't go to work out a lot, then clearly it is not actually a priority of mine, no matter how much I think it is or how much I feel like it should be, right? So step 1 of this 3-step audit is, how are you spending your time? My challenge to you is this: track every single minute of every day for 3 weeks. That's a pain in the butt, but I'm talking just write down every single, if you wake up and if you look at your phone for 20 minutes before your day starts, you're reading Instagram or you're on Facebook because you're old like me or whatever, then just write that down. Okay, write down that you're making coffee, write down that you are watching television, write down that you're practicing, write down all of that stuff for 3 weeks. All right, that tends to be a long enough period where you don't alter your behavior so that the audit looks better. That's the other thing that's really important, is this exercise is not very helpful if you suddenly then go to the gym 12 times during those 3 weeks when you went to the gym 5 times during all of the previous 12 months. So just keep doing what you're doing. Track how you spend every single minute, and then at the end of this thing, we're going to take a look at all 3 of these things. Step 2 of the 3-step audit is, where is your attention going? This is, of course, a subset of step 1 of the audit, because your attention is going to be dictated by the time you spend. But you've got an hour free before bed, let's say. If you are serious about building a website, which every single person with a portfolio career has to have a website, are you spending more time watching Netflix, or are you spending more time acquiring and applying the skills that you need to build a website, or are you actually building a website? By the way, you should watch Netflix every once in a while and you should do it without feeling bad, right? It is not sustainable. And if this is your takeaway from this episode, then I have failed. If your takeaway is I have an hour before bed, and if I watch Succession, then I have failed because my website needs updating. That is not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if your audit shows you that, say, 5 out of every 7 days, that you are choosing on autopilot to watch more Netflix or any of the 85 other streaming services that we get to all pay for separately, which is really fun. And then you're sitting there wondering why your website isn't done or isn't updated. That's what we call a pattern, right? And so so you have to carve out time. Guess what I've not done much of in the last week? My life turned upside down. It was like 1 week and 4 hours ago was when I got the call that my dad was on the way to the hospital, and we didn't know. And I drove to my son's school, and I picked him up in the middle of the day, and I said, "Buddy, we're going to Boston." He was like, "I'm sorry," and I was like, "Gramps." He said, "Oh, he's not feeling well." I said, "Nope," and he was amazing. Kids are incredible. We should all be more like kids. If I knew how to tell you how to do that, then I could make a lot of money. But we just need to be more like kids. So he rolled with the punches. I've not done much work in the last week. I just haven't. But that's okay. And I actually have done a lot. Right. I've talked to my mother on the phone like 25 times, and I'm helping her plan things. But like all of my TEM initiatives, all of my like summer brassing, they've all completely halted, and that's intentional, and that's okay. So this is not step two of this audit is not in my situation right now is a little extreme in that I just lost a parent, but you don't have to have something extreme. This is not something to use to beat yourself up, right? You just got to figure out where is your attention going, right? And if you're spending more attention on the latest show than you are on some aspect of your career that you think and believe should be a priority, then either maybe it shouldn't be a priority, or then you need to readjust some stuff. Okay. And finally, step three, and I say you, and I could, it's just confusing if we say we, but I absolutely have to do these kind of audits, and I am due for one once I get out of this this pocket that I'm in right now of dealing with a lot of logistics and a lot of grief, then I'm going to do one of these myself. Step three, the final step of the three-step audit. It'd be weird if step four was the final step of the three-step audit. That's a little redundant. I'm not editing this. I just don't have the mental or emotional capacity to edit this right now. How are you spending your money? The phrase you have to spend money to make money is a thing for a reason. For example, the Descript app, which is something that as soon as I record this video, I'm recording it using the QuickTime player. I'm going to dump this into the Descript app, and it is then going to transcribe it for me. I'm then going to trim the beginning. I'm going to trim the end. That's where I do all of my video editing. That's where I get my show notes from. It saves me. It's when I first started this thing, and you would have to, when I would have a false start, I would have to edit, just in like Audacity, just using sound waves, and so I'd have to sit there and edit very slowly. It was painful. Descript costs like almost $300 a year. My goodness, it saves me $3,000 worth. I hope that the Descript people are not hearing this. But if that app went to $100 a month, I would pay for it. It way more than gets me $100 in value in terms of my time that I save compared to all of the other systems available. So I would easily pay 4 times what I am paying for this thing. But if I can't afford a tool, and then I go and look and I see that I'm actually spending money on, I spent a lot of money last month on my kid's birthday party. That's not a part of this audit, right? That's important, right? I'm glad that we were able to get him the birthday party that he wanted. But there are times when I will eat out, and I don't have to eat out. I love eating out. I love all sorts of different foods and different nationalities and things that I just don't want to take the time to learn how to cook it as well, even if I could. We've got Ethiopian food near our house. We've got incredible tacos. We got the list goes on and on and on. Right? I'm not going to learn how to cook all those foods. I like eating out. However, if there's some food or resource that I need, or some app or resource that I need, that's a few $100, and then I say I don't have the money, and then I realize in like a 3-week audit that I actually ate that much in extra eating out in just a month. It just brings things fully into perspective. So this just gives you a little bit of like the 30,000 foot, which is kind of the corporate terminology for it, where we're really close to our moment to moment actions. This gives us just a little bit more of a complete picture of how we're spending our time, where our attention is going, which ends up steering where our time goes, and then also how much money we are spending. Do this for just 3 weeks, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself, and either learn that there's just a little course correct, or maybe that some major behaviors need to stop and sometimes or change, and sometimes all it takes is awareness. Okay. This week's quote is from Philip Glass. Quote, "I don't know what I'm doing. And if you don't know what to do, there's actually a chance of doing something new. As long as you know what you're doing, nothing much of interest is going to happen." Philip Glass is amazing. I got to play at the Kennedy Center Honors where he was honored, so I actually got to play some of his music for him for 6 million people watching on TV. That was kind of a career highlight. He's saying take some risks here, right? Take some risks. And if we know everything and know how everything is going to go, then not too much interesting is going to happen. There's not going to be growth. We have to get out of our comfort zones. And so do something interesting, do something new, do something where you don't really know what the hell you're doing, and you're going to learn from it. Thank you so much for your attention, for your patience with when TEM comes out, it comes out, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. For your support, all of you that have signed up for Patreon, everybody that's told a friend, those of you who subscribe to the YouTube channel, I'm filled with gratitude right now because I'm thinking about really kind of heavy things, and it's all on my mind. And so I appreciate the hell out of all of you. Thank you very much. And that's going to do it for another episode of The Entrepreneurial Musician.